Members of the media, thank you for joining us here this afternoon, where the Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Sean Field-Lament, is going to provide an update on the situation where part of a human digit was found in the car park on Court Street. Mr. Lament, Field-Lament.
Thank you, Gary, members of the press. Good afternoon. I wish to update the public on the incident on Court Street involving discovery of a human digit reported on Friday. Obviously, the incident caused concern both to the public and to the Bermuda Police Service. The Bermuda Police Service has followed up with a robust investigation to determine the facts and identify any gaps in service delivery. What I can say is that we've ascertained the nexus of the incident. CID officers conducted a follow-up investigation and were able to speak to two Pembroke males aged 61 and 58 years old. It would appear that they had an altercation on Monday evening, 25th of January 2021 in the Court Street area. One of the individuals received an injury to his hand consistent with a partial loss of a finger. Both men have declined to make a complaint to the police and do not wish the police to be involved. As stated, criminal complaint has not been made. I would like to thank the general public for their assistance in providing valuable information that helped resolve the matter. Should anyone have any further information, please contact Acting Detective Inspector Lennox Innes at 295-0011 or on 211. In addition to determining the circumstances surrounding the loss and recovery of the digit, we have conducted an extensive review of the circumstances and initial police handling of the matter. Gaps in service delivery have been identified, and we will be addressing them with training and policy procedure amendments so that we can limit this happening again. It would appear that our officers' initial response was to expedite the matter as dealing with a medical emergency. Whilst their intent was laudable, unfortunately, investigative opportunities were overlooked and lost. I want to personally reassure the public that whilst we did not get it exactly right on this occasion, the vast majority of handling of incidents by the Bermuda Police is done in a professional and competent manner. We have identified mistakes made, and we will strive to do better in the future. I wish to apologize for any alarm caused, and once again, just reassure people that we are a learning organization and we will do better in the future. Once again, thank you to the public for the help in resolving the matter. It's encouraging to see that when situations like this occur, the public rally around the Bermuda Police and help us get to the bottom of it in a very efficient and effective manner. Thank you.
Any questions, members of the media?
Yeah, Commissioner, is there any disciplining as a result of what you found?
So the matter is being reviewed. We're a learning organization, and it's not necessarily always jumping into a discipline situation. As I said, the initial efforts were around a medical emergency, and I think the intent was to try to reunite the digit with the person who may have lost it, and the focus was around there. Obviously, we have to go in with a far broader perspective when we're faced with circumstances like this. So we'll be concentrating more on the learning rather than disciplining people.
Acting Assistant Commissioner, was the case of there being perhaps a misunderstanding? Was it thought that the person who called in with this sort of finger set, did the police sort of think, oh right, okay, you've got to get to the hospital and take the finger with you and
yeah. That appears to be the thrust of the initial response. Was more about it being a medical emergency.
Sure.
And that sort of kind of sheds light on what transpired. Obviously, we can look back on an incident as an armchair quarterback and say, well, you actually should have thought of other things. I think it's laudable that they were trying to deal with it as a medical emergency, but we need to be a little bit more aware to maybe opportunities that present themselves in regards to evidence gathering and things like that.
Also, I would have thought that the whole police station is less than a block away, so police vehicles can travel a lot faster than any individual. So I would have thought it would have been still a lot more sense for someone from the police to deal with transporting this to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, the gentleman came to the station, reported to the station officers. They are in the station. That was then relayed to the dispatchers, and units were on their way to assist the member of the public. It rather unraveled rather quickly in a period of about 10 minutes.
So sorry, was he taken to the police?
He walked back to the scene and took care of the digit as he saw fit.
It just seems to me it still would have been faster for the police to have dealt with this by, picking up this and.
Like I said, we can armchair quarterback this and look back and say what ifs and all this sort of stuff. We've reviewed it, we're looking at how we dealt with it, and we will learn from the mistakes made and do better in the future.
Our police, don't they still have the power to intervene in a case where someone refuses to press any charges, but you've been made to understand a crime has occurred? Something's happened out here.
Yeah.
Don't you still have the power to do something?
So, in certain circumstances, in the interest of public interest, the police can, if the evidence is there to support it in regards to proceeding with a criminal investigation, and indeed, putting a file before the DPP. In these circumstances, we don't have any independent witnesses. There is no CCTV of the incident that occurred, the altercation between the two individuals. Both individuals have stated categorically they do not want the police involved, and no complaints have been made. So in the absence of all those factors, it's very difficult for us to go any further with it.
And could I just ask, on Friday you mentioned that you were approaching the homeless community to see if they perhaps knew what was going on. These two gentlemen that are involved, were they homeless people or?
All I would say, I've given you their age and the Pembroke parish as where they reside, and apart from that, I think I'll respect their privacy and anonymity at the moment. So.
Did the victim actually get any medical treatment?
I can say that yes, he did. He attended Monday evening, Tuesday morning, and so that's why when we made inquiries on the day of, it was actually a few days before, so there was no sort of recollection of the incident by emergency.
It does rather beg the question why he didn't take the finger with him.
I can't really speak to that. All I do know is that certainly the initial account that he gave to the hospital was not the same account that he eventually gave us. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much for attending the press conference. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email